What's going on, guys? Brandon with Ohm Empire back at it again. Before we get started, again, huge shout out to Berdyev for making that intro for me. I'm going to give him credit for a while to come, just because that guy's awesome. So the link's going to be in the description, as always, for Soviet Vapor's Instagram, and Berdyev's personal YouTube. But today is a review on something that I said I was going to review a little while ago, if you've seen my Instagram, which I doubt many of you have. But if you saw these videos because you saw my Instagram, I thank you and I welcome you. Hello, welcome to me. So today we're going to be talking about the Source Code e-juice line. I have the full line right in front of me. I picked these up at a giveaway. I talked about this in my Pink Lung Brigade video. So like I said, I've been kind of putting these off, waiting on how I was going to do it. So I decided I'm not going to wait until I have 6 devices to vape all these juices in, to build, wick, drip exclusively those juices on those mods. So I'm going to talk about all of them, give you the flavor profile, give you the experiences I've had with them. I've dripped all of them, I've tasted all of them. A few of the flavors were a little on the subtle side, but overall I have enjoyed this juice line thoroughly. They are all 80/20. So they work well in your drippers, they're great for dripping, they work well in your sub-ohm tanks, and overall they're very consistent. They come in 0, 3, 6, and 12 milligrams, and you can order them online from, what does it say, in 15 mil, 30 mil, and 120 mil bottles. And the 15 mil is going to run you $10.99. The 30 mil is going to run you $19.99, and the 120 mil is going to run you $69.99. So very reasonably priced. This again is a company based out of Washington, so I like promoting Washington State juice companies because there's quite a few of them. Like I've said before, the Pacific Northwest is a great hub for vaping, for mods, juices, anything that you can come up with in the vaping industry. And here shortly I should be having my first vlog come up, which is going to be my vaping around the sound video that I mentioned quite some time ago. It's going to be the first one that I do. It's going to be for a shop and an owner that I've been going to for quite some time. If it all goes well, I will have that up as either my next video or the review of the Smoke X Pro M80 Plus or the Heracles. So it's going to be one of those 3 things. I'm either going to have a vlog or I'm going to have a review on one of those 2 devices. So before we jump into this, give you a quick once-over of the bottles. Most of the bottles are pretty consistent in look. They all look very similar to this. They're going to have the name, source code, the name of the juice that they have on there, and then the milligram, the 80/20 VG/PG ratio. There's a fly flying around here. I can hear it. I'm going to kill that thing later. You can see the bottle is colored, and I was really worried about this when I got all of these juices. I'm like, oh god, these juices are colored. They're going to be wick and coil murderers, but it turns out that just the glass is colored. So all the juices are going to be your traditional clear with a little bit of like a brownish tint from steeping. I'm going to take a vape on the Purple Potion that I actually just showed you. So the only experience I had with Source Code before I got these juices in the raffle was Purple Potion that I had received as a 15 ml bottle in a sample box. I liked it. It was actually the juice that I received out of the sample box that I liked the most. But I will start off with Purple Potion. Purple Potion is described as a refreshing mix of pomegranate and lychee. I know what you're going to think immediately when you see this. You're going to think grape. That's what I thought when I got it. Nope. Pleasantly surprised. It's very nice, very distinct pomegranate flavor. The lychee kind of comes through on the exhale. Lychee by itself is just a very subtle flavor, but it does complement the pomegranate very nicely. Alright, so very good. One thing that they do have on there as well, they have the warning labels. Keep away from children and pets, blah blah blah. They have a very vague ingredients list, as vague as you can possibly be with something that doesn't have very many ingredients as it is. one thing that I would like to see on juice bottles is the, not the batch number, because I don't really care about that, but the batch date. So I know how long it's been since that juice has been steeping, when I purchased it. That's something that I like to see on bottles. I think it just gives the consumer that much more information about how long the juice has been steeping, what they can expect when they're vaping it. Moving on to the second juice, this is called Wanna Cookie. This one is, as you can assume, it is a sugar cookie, and that flavor, they absolutely nailed it. I think that juice, out of the whole line, that is the most true flavor to its flavor profile. When you vape it, you get the sugar cookie, you get the brown sugar, you get a little bit of cinnamon, and on the exhale, you are left with the feeling in your palate that you've just eaten a cookie. I can almost feel the crumbs on my tongue after I vape it. It's quite interesting. It feels really nice. All of these juices, you don't get a very strong throat hit. They come through very well flavor-wise on all of your tanks. Obviously, you're going to get better flavor off of your drippers, which is how I prefer to drip them, but I have put these in my sub-ohm tanks and my RTAs. Overall, Wanna Cookie. I like the art on this one. It's got a little gingerbread man, and then he has like an old school Clearo in his hand. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. At the very tail end of this, I might just do like a little up-close snippet of each bottle individually. Be like 20-30 seconds. The next one we have is Jerry's Berries, which is actually named after the owner of Source Code. His name is Jerry Dunbar. Really cool guy. Met him at the Pink Lung Brigade's event. Watched him take a pie to the face. That was pretty funny. There was a charity fundraiser that was to pie well-known kind of vaping icons in the Pacific Northwest, like Jerry Dunbar and a few other juice company owners like Mark Jarrett and other well-known vapors in the Pacific Northwest. There's my phone. Alright, but Jerry's Berries is a complex mix of berries. It's very hard to isolate any one flavor. This is put together very nicely as a berry cocktail of sorts. So it's very hard to kind of distinguish any one berry flavor. I think the one that I get the most out of there is raspberry. If it's there. It doesn't say on there that raspberry is one of them, but I believe that's one of them because it just says a complex mix of berries. Very nice. Overall, I've enjoyed Jerry's Berries and Wanna Cookie the most out of this juice line. The next one we're going to talk about is called Blue Shell. Like I said, they're all going to be very similar to this. Jerry's Berries and Wanna Cookie are the only ones that differ on their bottle art from the line. The other four are very similar to this one. And this one is a Blueberry Honeydew. Initially, when I popped open the bottles, this was the one that I was most excited about vaping because I think it smelled the best. So I popped it in a tank, and I popped it on my dripper, and I vaped the hell out of it. And then I tried Wanna Cookie and Jerry's Berries, and this one kind of fell to the side. It's not super subtle on the flavor, but it doesn't pop as much as Jerry's Berries does or Purple Potion does. I put off trying Purple Potion just because I had one run-in with it before, so I wanted to give the rest of the juice line a chance beforehand. So that was the last one that I'd opened, and next to Jerry's Berries and Wanna Cookie, I vaped that one the most. But, yep, Blueberry and Honeydew. I don't really pull much honeydew out of it. Honeydew is a very light flavor in my opinion. I enjoy eating straight up honeydew. It's not an overwhelming flavor, but it does complement the blueberry in there very well. The blueberry does pop a little bit. It's not like a blueberry compote, not like a blueberry tart. It's just like grabbing a handful of blueberries and just shoving them right in your mouth. The next one we're going to talk about is PMF, which is, it's an acronym. It stands for Peach Mint Fusion. And I actually had a problem with this juice because the peach mint with a light mint fusion, which is the flavor profile, looking at it right now, I don't think that's very true to the flavor that I got. When I vaped this juice, I got like a thin mint. like I was eating a box of Girl Scout cookie Thin Mints. I didn't get any peach on it. The mint on it was very strong. It kind of overwhelmed. If there was to be any peach, the mint did kind of overwhelm any sense of that, and I really just felt like I was eating a box of chocolate Thin Mints. I didn't look up the flavor profile of any of these before I started vaping them, so I was kind of taken back by the flavor profile of PMF. It's a good flavor. It's definitely not an all-day vape for someone like me who's more into cereal vapes and fruit vapes. I could definitely maybe drip this for an hour or two, and I'd have to put it down for the rest of the day. I couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, I was really surprised with this flavor profile because it's not very true to it. But that's not to say that it's a bad juice. It's not bad by any means. I didn't not enjoy any of these juices, but it wasn't very true to its flavor profile. Moving on to the last juice in the line, it's called JLS. I haven't vaped very much of this one. This was the one that I was the least impressed with. It's very, very, very flavor subtle, and I've tried dripping it. And I've tried dripping it in strictly flavor builds, and I don't get very much with it. I don't know if it's not steeped very long. Just give it a smell test. It smells a little different than when I initially tried, so I'm actually going to drip this one really quick. Let's see if, oh no, I have not. Let's try and burn off some of that purple potion so I can give this one a little bit of a try. I know I haven't told you the flavor of this one yet. I just want to see if I can pull anything more through it. Initially, when I smell tested this one, I thought it was going to taste like a cereal. That's what it smelled like. It smelled very cereal-esque. It tasted very cereal-esque as well, but it was very, very subtle. The flavor all around was very subtle. Yep. It's still not popping. It's not a big in-your-face flavor. So this one is the flavor profile is a complex horchata blend. Now, I've tried horchata before, wasn't a big fan of it. I've tried Rockstar horchata, wasn't a big fan of it. And this one is so subtle on the flavor that it almost feels like there's nothing there. I get a little bit of cinnamon. There's no Wanna Cookie in this, so I'm not getting it from that. It's got a cinnamon flavor to it, kind of milky, kind of creamy. My throat does feel like it did just have some milk, like I just drank super thick, like whole milk. But this one, it's so subtle. Now, somebody that is a fan of horchata, it's very true to that flavor, absolutely. But yeah, it doesn't stand out very much. This may be something that you end up blending with another flavor to make it pop. You might end up blending this with something like Wanna Cookie, or you will blend it with something like a pie that you want, like a pie crust-esque flavor to kind of come through at the end of it. But there isn't a whole lot to that one. So that was the one that I was the least impressed with. So hence the reason why it's the one that I've vaped the least. That one and PMF, I saved those for last just because they're the ones I was least impressed with. But PMF is not an all-day vape for me, but somebody that is a mint fan will definitely enjoy it. But hey guys, sorry about that. My batteries died mid-sentence, and this review is running a little bit long. So I decided not to edit it. I just did want to do a quick up and close of each of the bottles. So this is the Purple Potion. Like I said, right here you're going to get your ingredients list, your batch number, 3 milligram, 80/20. And then this has source code vapor, which is where you can pick all of these up. Link is going to be in the description down below, and your warning label. So that was Purple Potion. Here we got Wanna Cookie. Same thing on the side. Gingerbread Man, and then like I said, it's got like an old school looking Clearo. And then Jerry's Berries. Blue Shell, I like the color of this one a lot, as well as this one. Like I said before, this is only the glass that's colored, so you don't have to worry about them just absolutely destroying your coils. So like I said, this is just going to be a really quick up and close part, so jump back up and close this sucker out. And we're back up top. So like I said, guys, you can pick these all up from sourcecodevapor.com. Link is going to be in the description down below, as well as anything else I have mentioned before. I recommend 4 out of the 6 of these for my palate. Like I've said before in juice videos that I've done, everything that I say is subjective. Something I like, you may not like. Something you like, I may not like. I recommend Purple Potion, Blue Shell, Jerry's Berries, and Wanna Cookie. But y'all may like PMF and DLS. DLS being the horchata blend. I didn't actually mention the name of that one, but you probably saw it up close. I know it looks like a J, but it's a D, I promise. So I can't really recommend those. I didn't like them too much. You may like them, but I've enjoyed most of these. I enjoy that they're 80/20, and I enjoy that they're Washington based, and I enjoy that they're an 80/20 VGPG blend. It makes dripping it very nice. It makes putting it in an RTA or a sub-ohm tank very nice. But on that note, guys, I think I've said about all I can say for these juices. Go and check out sourcecodevapor.com. I'll have a link to Source Code Vapor's Facebook as well. And it's time to wrap it up. Brandon from Empire, signing out till next time. And as always, stay classy, vape fam.